My fiancé wants me to wear purple so his mom can wear white at our wedding. Have you ever watched those reality shows about men who are completely obsessed with their mothers and assumed they were fake? Well, let me tell you from personal experience that those exact types of toxic dynamics absolutely exist in the real world. My partner and I have been together since high school. We were that classic teenage couple, completely inseparable. But back then, his controlling mother was already secretly pulling the strings behind the scenes of our relationship. She managed to convince him that we were simply way too young to know what real love actually was. She eventually pressured him into breaking things off with me right before we headed out to different colleges. It broke my heart into pieces, but I desperately tried my best to pick up the items and move on. Fast forward a couple of years into college, and my phone suddenly lights up with a long message from him on social media. He poured his heart out, apologized for letting his family dictate his choices, and told me how much he deeply missed me. We talked through everything that happened in the past, and ultimately decided to give our relationship another shot. And that is when the real drama started. When his mother found out we were back together, she didn't just get upset. She literally threw a massive crying fit. She looked my partner dead in the eye and claimed that I must have used some kind of dark magic or manipulation to trap him. I wish I was exaggerating, but she was completely serious. Now I was raised to always respect my elders. My parents taught me to never talk back or get into petty arguments with older generation family members. But this woman completely abuses that respect because she knows I won't cause a scene, using it to treat me like garbage. Ever since we got back together, she has made it her personal mission to replace me. She has tried to set him up with women from her church, co-workers from her office, and she even begs her friends to set him up with their daughters. Thankfully, he rejects all of her constant interference, but his mother completely refuses to see her own toxic behavior. Instead, she just turns around and falsely claims that I am the one who is controlling and brainwashing him. He tells her to stop, sure, but he does it so gently that his words never actually stick. 3 months ago, he finally popped the question. I was over the moon. But his mother? She completely boycotted our engagement party. She also refused to show up to the family dinner where both of our families were supposed to meet for the first time. Honestly, I didn't care. His father, who actually divorced his mother years ago, showed up and privately apologized to me for her embarrassing behavior. I told him not to worry about it and tried to keep the peace, but the real nightmare began just last week. My fiancé finally decided to confront his mother about why she was being so hostile regarding our upcoming wedding. I think a light bulb finally went off in his head because up until now, his strategy was always to just ignore her and tell me to do the same. Well, the confrontation did not go well. She immediately turned on the waterworks and gave him a massive sob story. She reminded him that she got pregnant with him before marriage and had a rushed courthouse wedding. She claimed she never got to have her own dream day and that our wedding was triggering her deep trauma. So he asked her what it would take for her to feel included and comfortable. And I kid you not, this woman looked her grown son in the face and said that she wants to wear a full white bridal gown to our wedding, and she expects me, the bride, to wear a soft pink or light lavender dress instead. There is no way any sane man would agree to that, right? Well, think again. For some completely baffling reason, my fiancé came back to me and said he thought this was a totally fair compromise. But wait, it gets even worse because he did not even bother to ask me about it beforehand. He straight up told me that his mother would also be walking me down the aisle at our wedding. She is planning to wear a white dress just so she can finally get her big special moment. I completely lost it. I told him absolutely not, and it turned into the biggest explosive argument we have ever had. I told him it was absolutely insane that he would loudly scream and fight with me over this situation. He is doing all of this just to defend his mother's incredibly fragile ego during our wedding planning. Yet, he never shows that same fierce energy whenever she is actively disrespecting me right in front of him. He immediately got defensive, turned it back on me, and accused me of being petty, rigid, and entirely selfish. It was ugly. We both eventually agreed to take a few days apart to cool off and clear our heads after that massive argument. But honestly, looking at how heated things got, I could tell we were both on the verge of calling it off right there and then. Now we are living in this incredibly weird, icy silence. I love him, I really do. But a blindfold has been lifted from my eyes. I am finally seeing exactly how much toxic power this woman holds over our entire relationship and our future. I can just picture her sitting at home right now, wearing an evil, smug grin after driving a wedge between us. Everyone keeps telling me that it's just a color and that I shouldn't let a dress ruin my future. But to me, this isn't about a dress at all. It's about boundaries, respect, and realizing who he will always choose first. Am I completely overreacting here, or should I just pack my bags and call off this wedding for good?